Param
And
Shanti.
welcome. Yeah. Welcome to Era of Supreme Peace. I am Mona.
And I'm Chetna.
Hmm. Param Shanti to every soul listening. Chetna ji, I want to begin today with a picture. A man is standing in an operating theater. His hands are inside a living human skull. He has done this thousands of times. He can point to the exact fold of tissue that moves your right hand, the exact spot that stores the smell of your grandmother's kitchen.
And this man was an atheist?
Completely. A materialist, his position was simple and honestly very reasonable. And the mind is what the brain does, nothing more. You are 3 pounds of tissues having an electrical conversation with itself. Chitna ji, there is an echo. Can you feel that? Can you listen?
No, I don't feel it. Do you feel
Mm.
it?
Yeah.
No, I don't hear any echo.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay. So, and then what happens next?
Yeah. And then the cases started coming. Patients missing enormous portions of their brain and living entirely normal lives. Going to work, loving their families, making moral decisions, and being someone.
So the tissue was gone,
Mhm.
but the person was still there.
Yes. The person was still there. And a surgeon who had spent his life inside the brain had to ask a question that his
Hmm.
own science could not answer. If the person is not the tissue, then who is the person?
Wow. And Bapuji answered that question long before the question was asked.
Yes, that is our episode today. Today, we take a neurosurgeon's evidence point by point and we hold it up versus Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel's infinite knowledge, Behad Gyan. And we see what happens.
So let's start with what surgeon actually found because he was very careful. He didn't say the brain doesn't matter.
No, that is what makes him worth listening to. He mapped it honestly. Movement, there is a center. Sensation, there is a center. Memory, there are structures. Emotions,
Hmm.
structures again. So, Wilder Penfield's classic work, stimulating the exposed brain of conscious patients, could make an arm lift, could make a memory replay, could make a wave of feeling rise up.
So all of this is physical.
Yes, all of this is physical, but here is where he stopped. In all of that mapping across decades of it, there is no center for abstract thought, no center
Mhm.
for reasoning, no center for free will. You cannot touch an electrode to a piece of tissue and make a person decide.
So Manaji, this is almost a word for word what Bapuji teaches
Mhm. The karmindriya,
the
yeah,
Indriya and
yeah.
Gyanendriya,
Mhm.
the organs of action and the organs of
Hmm.
knowledge. So they are equipments,
Mhm.
like they belong to the body, and equipment can be mapped, damaged, repaired, and replaced.
Yes. But the one using the equipment cannot be mapped.
So the Atma cannot be mapped because the Atma, the soul, is not made of the same substance as the
Mhm.
instrument. Bapuji says it directly. The body is the vehicle, the Atma is the driver,
Mhm.
and the brain is the most refined instrument the driver has, but it is still an instrument.
Yeah. So, and a surgeon spent 30 years looking for the driver inside the vehicle and could not find it. Mhm.
Because he was looking with the vehicle own tools. Like that's the whole difficulty. You cannot use the microphone to find the singer.
Yes, I love that.
So,
Say
good
it again.
example.
Yeah.
So, you cannot use the microphone to find the singer. So,
Mm.
the microphone will only ever give you sound. It will never give you the one who choose to sing.
Yes. Now, this next piece of evidence genuinely unsettles people. And it should, of course.
The brain patterns, patients, I guess.
Yeah, the split brain patients for severe epilepsy.
Mhm.
Surgeons used to cut the corpus callosum, the great bridge of fibers joining the left and right hemispheres. And that surgery, the two halves of the brain cannot directly speak to each other. And you
Oh,
get very strange results. Show a word only to the left visual field, and the patient says they saw nothing, but the left hand can draw it.
so the information is there but split.
Yes, split. Two halves, each holding a piece. And yet, this is the surgeon's point. The patient is still one person. There is still one eye. And in certain experiments, the mind pulls together an integrated concept, even though no single portion of the brain has across to all the pieces actually. No single portion of the brain has access to all
Access
the
to all.
pieces. Yes.
So nobody in the room has the whole picture, but the whole picture exists.
Yes. Somebody has the whole picture, and that somebody is not either hemisphere of the brain.
Exactly. So now bring in Behad Gyan, like
Mhm.
Bapuji describes the Atma as a point of light, right? A bindu of the conscious light,
Hmm.
not a substance of the occupies volume, not
Hmm.
a fluid, distributed through the tissue, a point.
Hmm. And a point cannot be cut in half.
So true. A point cannot be cut in half. This is why the Behad Gyan, the Atma, is called the Avinashi, imperishable, invisible. You can cut the wire, you cannot cut the current. It's
Hmm.
like you can cut the wire, you cannot cut the current. You can sever the bridge between two hemisphere, but you cannot sever the one who is aware of both.
So true. Chetnaji, the surgeon, reached the edge of that conclusion from the operating table. And
Mhm.
Bapuji states it as the starting point.
So that's the pattern of this whole episode.
Yeah. So I will repeat that. Chetnaji, it got stopped. I think you have internet issues. That is the pattern of this whole episode. Actually, science arrives exhausted at the door, and the Behad Gyan is already inside the house with the lamp lit. So, the ones we thought were gone. This section I find the most emotionally heavy.
Yes. So the persistent vegetative state, actually.
Uh-huh. Patients with catastrophic brain injury, no response, no speech, no sign of a person in there. For decades, the assumption was the lights are off. And then functional imaging came along, and researchers asked these patients to imagine playing tennis or to imagine walking through their own house. And the brain scan lit up in exactly the pattern of a healthy volunteer doing the same thing. How is it
So they
possible?
were
Hmm.
so they were answering.
Yeah, they were answering. A meaningful percentage of these patients retain hidden cognition, hidden communicative ability behind a body that cannot report it. People were in there listening for years.
So Monaji, I need to sit with that for a second because for anyone who has sat by the hospital bed, his changes everything about actually this changes everything about how you speak in that room actually.
Yeah, it should change everything. Definitely.
So in Behad Gyan, there is a very clear teaching. Here, the Atma does not become unconscious. The Atma is Chaitanya Shakti, conscious itself. Atma is Chaitanya, conscious itself. What
Mhm.
becomes damaged is the equipment through which the Atma expresses. And
Mhm.
Bapuji says that the Atma continue to receive the vibration, reaches it, Sankalp even when no word can come back out. So if I
Mhm.
don't speak also, the vibration reaches, the
Mhm.
thoughts reaches as a
So we are using Atma for the soul here. So no confusion. We are talking about soul here. So when a
yeah.
family sits at that bedside and speaks with
Hmm,
love to a patient
hmm.
in coma, we can say with severe brain injury. So,
Right. So it is not being wasted, not one drop of it. This
mhm,
is exactly why Bapuji emphasizes Mansa Seva, which is service through pure thought and vibration.
mhm.
That's a Mansa Seva. So Mansa Seva does not need the other person's ears to be working. It does not need their speech center intact. It travels soul to soul.
Yeah, it travels soul to soul. The surgeon's scanner found the person behind the silence. Bapuji tells us what to do with that knowledge.
Right. So that's the difference between the evidence and Gyan, like
Mhm,
knowledge. So
mhm.
evidence tell you what is and knowledge tell you how to live in front of what is.
Yeah. And now the question is when the machine is switched off. Now the part
Okay.
everybody waits for, like near death experience.
So true.
Mhm.
So and the surgeon is careful here too. When I respect, he is not talking about a warm feeling or a beautiful dream.
Yeah. No, he's just pointing at the verified cases, the ones where a patient reports accurate perceptions, specific
Hmm.
instruments, specific conversations, specific events in the room or elsewhere in the building that occurred during a period when the brain was clinically inactive. So, flatline. In some of the most striking cases, deep hypnothermic cardiac arrest, body cooled, heart stopped, blood drained, no measurable brain stem activity.
No machine running and yet accurate observation.
Yes, accurate observation, and the observation from a vantage point, usually above the body looking down. We have heard in so
Yeah,
many cases, near death experiences, people
near
have
death
they,
experience.
yeah.
Exactly. So this is where Behad Gyan is not surprised at all. Like
Mhm.
Bapuji teaches three bodies. Bapuji has already told us about Sthul Sharir, which is a physical body, the Sukshma Sharir, which is a subtle body, and the Karan Sharir, which is the causal body. So the Atma, soul is not confined to the first one. When the physical instrument shut down, the soul withdraws, but withdrawal is not the extinction.
It's just stepping out of the vehicle, like we said. Soul is,
Yes,
yeah, the driver, and your body is the vehicle. So what
what
happens?
is the vehicle?
Yeah.
So it's stepping out the vehicle and perception continues. Because perception never belonged to the vehicle. Bapuji owns life is full of this, from childhood encounters with the subtle world souls in the field near Ambasan, where he in the village where he born, and
Mhm.
he did not need cardiac arrest to know that the Sukshma Lok is populated and awake.
Hmm. Hmm. So, Chetna ji, there is something in near death experience literature that always strikes me.
Mhm.
The reluctance to come back. They want to come
Correct.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, it is because of a moment the soul remembers where it is from. So in the Behad Gyan, like Behad knowledge, that is not the po- uh, poetry. It's like a geography. So the soul original home is the supreme abode, which is Paramdham, the
Mhm.
region of the pure light, beyond sound, beyond the elements. That's the supreme abode. The pull
Hmm.
the NDE patients describe is not the pull of death, it is the pull of the home.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is supreme abode.
Yeah. So that's most of them. They feel so good. They feel so light, and they feel love. And that is the pull of their actual home. And the whole
Exactly.
name of this show suddenly makes sense. Sure.
Yes, journey home.
Mm-hmm.
The journey to home, right?
Yes, yes.
So every soul is already on it. Most of us just haven't checked the address yet.
Mm-hmm. Chetna ji, I want to be honest in this segment because a comparison is only worth anything if we also say where the two views differ.
Agreed, then let's do it clearly.
Yeah, the surgeon draws a sharp line between animals and human beings. And
Hmm.
in his framework, and this is a classical philosophical position, animals possess a material soul, one that governs the movement, sensation, and instinct, and it doesn't survive the body. Human beings possess a spiritual soul, capable of abstract thought, mortality, and awareness of the divine. And that one is non material and therefore doesn't disintegrate. So that is the difference
Right.
between humans and the animal. Yes.
Yes. And in Behad Gyan, the picture is different in an important way. Like Bapu
Oh,
a conscious point of light. What differs is Kala.
sorry for this convenience. You disappeared for a second. Let me repeat that. Okay. And
Yes.
in this infinite knowledge we are talking about, given by Bapuji Dashrathbhai Patel, the picture is different in an important way. Bapuji doesn't describe two categories of soul substance. The soul is one kind of a thing, a conscious point of light. What differs is the measure of soul power the soul is carrying and the kind of
Hmm.
body and role it has entered. So the difference is not in the material actually, it's the power.
Right.
Hmm.
Yes. So the difference isn't the material, it's the capacity and the descent. So
Mhm.
a soul is a sato pradhan stage, that means pure at the full kala. When it is in the purest form, it is with the full kala, expresses the divinity effortlessly. The
Hmm.
same soul is tamo pradhan stage after the long descent through the cycle expresses almost none of it. So the
Hmm.
equipment changed, the current didn't. So
So
equipment is changed, but the
the
current didn't
body
change.
changes, yeah, but the real thing, the real power doesn't change. Wow. So that is the real difference between the two accounts. And we should let it stand as a difference.
So we should, and there is a second one. So the surgeon's argument gets the immortality. The soul doesn't disintegrate because it isn't made of the parts. That is the philosophical proof, and it's a good one, but stops there.
It stops at you continue.
Hmm. So Bapuji goes considerably future. He says that yes, you continue, and here is the map of where you continue to. So
Mhm.
here is the journey of the soul from the supreme abode down through the kala, which is like the
Soul
power to
power.
measure
Hmm.
soul power. And here is what the karma goes to your weight. Here is the vikarma vinash, which is the burning away your accumulated wrong actions. And here is the jivan mukti, which is the liberation in life, not the liberation after it. Here is we are talking about how you become the karmatit beyond the making of new karma.
Hmm. So one framework proves the soul exists. The other tells the
Hmm.
soul what to do on Tuesday morning.
Which for a soul in the Kali Yuga, which is Iron
Iron
Age,
Age, yes.
is yeah arguably the more urgent of the two.
Hmm. So let's bring this all the way down to the listener's life now.
Hmm. So please, because there is a trap in this subject, a person can hear all of these evidence, agree with all of the intellectually, and change absolutely nothing.
Yes. Go ahead, Chetna ji, speak. Say more.
Yes. So Bapuji uses one word of the root disease of the age, which is Deh-Abhimaan, which
Hmm.
is body consciousness. The settled, unexamined feeling of I am this body. And notice the surgeon's evidence attacks the idea of body consciousness. It does not touch the feeling of it.
Hmm. You can believe you are a soul and still be terrified of a gray hair, of anything, body consciousness.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So you can accept every study in the talk and still lose your peace because someone spoke to you rudely. Still burn the whole day in anger over a simple comment.
Mhm.
Still the governed entirely by the body wants
Hmm.
belief in the cheap. So that means Bapuji asked to do purusharth, sustained spiritual effort.
Hmm. So, Chetna ji, what does that effort actually look like when we
Yeah,
don't
so
get trapped in body consciousness? If somebody says,
hmm,
we talk about peace, we talk about
right.
higher consciousness, but when something
Yes,
happens to us, we just completely lose our patience.
so true. So
Hmm.
it looks like a practice. It take time. It looked like a practice, and Bapuji gives the practice very concretely. Like first is the Amrit Vela, the pre-dawn hours, right? When
Mhm.
the atmosphere is quiet, the soul is also in the acceptance and receptive. Not because the God keeps office hours like Amrit Vela,
Mhm.
but because that time is the vibration of the world is least disturbed.
Yeah. And the second one?
The second one is the Sakshi Bhav, the witness state.
Mhm.
Through throughout the day, stepping half a piece back from the Atma and watching the scene as an actor who knows they are acting. The
Hmm.
surgeon proved there is a witness, and Bapuji trains you to be it.
So be a witness, be a detached
Yes,
observer. Don't get entangled in any situation. Step away.
yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. And the third one
Yeah.
is,
The third one is the Farishta Swarup, which Bapuji tells that practicing the angelic form. So,
hmm,
holding the awareness of yourself as the being of light in the
hmm,
body,
hmm,
but not bound by it. And
hmm,
with that, taking the Sakash, which is the spiritual current, directly from your Supreme and turning it towards throughout the Mansa Seva.
hmm. So these are very practical 3 points Papuji provided us.
Yes,
The first one is Amrit Vela because it's the pre-dawn hours when there is less distraction, you can focus more. And second one
yes,
is be a detached observer, be in the witness state, step back from the situation and then react. And the third one is practicing the angelic form. Always just stay in this awareness that I'm a being of light. I'm not bound by this body. And then if you connect to the Supreme in that state of mind, then that spiritual current flows through you and it goes out
yes.
to the entire world. Yeah. So it is
Correct.
practiced, definitely. Hmm.
So
And
the
what is the
body,
effect
yeah,
of that practically?
yeah. So the body stops being the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the practical effect. Illness, insult, age, loss, these still arrive, but they arrive at the vehicle. They arrived at the vehicle level,
Mm-hmm.
and the driver is no longer under the impression that the vehicle is him.
Hmm. So as long as you don't think this body is yours, if you think you are a soul, if you are staying in soul consciousness, then whatever
Mm.
comes,
Yes,
illness, insult, age, loss, whatever is coming, is all outside. Your soul shouldn't be affected by anything. So,
yeah.
Chetna ji, if you had 1 minute with that neurosurgeon we were talking about, what would you say to him?
So definitely, I would say thank him. I would thank him with sincerely because he did something rare. He let the evidence overturn this position instead of the overturning the evidence.
Hmm.
And that is an honest soul. And then I would say, brother, you have proved that the driver exists. Now come and find out where the driver is from. He came, why he came down, and how he gone, how he will go to home, right? Like that.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And I would say, Chetna ji, you spent your life opening skulls looking for the person. Bapuji
Correct.
spent his life opening the soul, looking for the
Mm,
Supreme. So both of you
yes.
were doing surgery, only the field was different.
And the beautiful thing is that neither of you needed to be right for the other to be right.
Yes. So to everyone listening, wherever you are, however this reached you, remember what you are, not a
Exactly.
body carrying a soul somewhere inside it. A soul, a point of living light, wearing a body
Mm,
for a short while on a journey
yes,
that started long before this birth and doesn't end with it.
correct. And the
Hmm.
way home is not far. It
Mhm.
is one through, it's like a one thought away.
Yeah.
It's one thought away. At
Mhm.
any moment of any day, you have to say that, remember that I am the soul, I am a child of the Supreme Father, and
Mhm.
I'm going home
Yeah.
with my
So,
Supreme Father.
yeah. Thank you so much for spending this time with us and keep sharing this knowledge. to everyone, and stay
Yes.
in soul consciousness, stay detached, and stay connected to the higher source.
So,
And whatever you receive,
Param Shanti.
just share with the whole world. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Have a wonderful
Because
day.
Gyan Dan is Mahadan. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Sharing knowledge is the highest charity. So share it to the maximum extent with all. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Supreme
so much.
Peace. Param
Supreme
Shanti.
Peace. Param Shanti.